This is a show about a Baron, but he isn't the real Baron, like Baron Greenback or Baron Munchausen, but he is a Baron. This is a show about him and all of his imaginary friends. This is the BaronSCameron Show.
Alas, poor Yorick, you zigged when you should have zagged. Friends, enemies, and internet losers, we have returned, and welcome to this, the 12th episode of the BaronSCameron Show. Well, let's just get started. Hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye.
Now is the winter of our discontent. Now is the summer of our discontent. Stop that!
See, we are going down, 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 down into a lovely little hamlet, get it? Hamlet? Called Florence, Oregon. So, I am in Florence, Oregon. Basically, if you're driving south, when you get to Eugene, turn right, head towards the ocean, and eventually you will hit Florence, Oregon. Beautiful little tourist town. I was driving down to San Francisco in November of 2001, and we stopped off for the first night in Florence, Oregon. And we found ourselves in this nice little 24-hour honky-tonk. I'll never forget this bar, because they had a band there playing that night called Timberwolf, and their bass player had one arm. It was really kind of neat to watch. Anyway, sitting down at the bar, this guy comes in, and he is just absolutely blottoed, just out. And his daughter was there with him, and she was blottoed too, and apparently she had showed up about 5 hours earlier to bring him home, and I guess he was very convincing. Anyway, he sat down beside me, and he said, you know, hi, I'm Bob, what's your name? And his name wasn't actually Bob, I just can't remember what it was. But so we started talking, and he worked in the lumber industry, lived in Florence pretty much all his life, Vietnam vet. And we talked for a good hour or so. And he's a very friendly guy. We got to know a lot about each other, but the whole time he's just packing back drinks. And then he decides that he's going to go outside and have himself a little puff of the wacky tobacco. So he goes out and smokes his joint, comes back in, sits right next to me and says, hi, I'm Bob. What's your name?
Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself. Long live the king. Bernardo, he. You come most carefully upon your hour. 'Tis now struck 12. Get thee to bed, Francisco. For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart. Have you had a quiet guard? Not a mouse stirring. Well, good night. If you do meet Horatio and Marcellus, the rivals of my watch, bid them hate. I think I hear them. Stand ho, who is there? Friends to this ground, and legion to the Dane. Give you good night. Oh, farewell, honest soldier. Who hath relieved you? Bernardo hath my place. Give you good night. Exit. Hola, Bernardo! What, is Horatio there? A piece of him. Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus. What, has this thing appeared again tonight? I have seen nothing. Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy. I will not let Blade take hold of him. Touching this dreaded sight twice seen us, therefore I have entreated him long with us to watch the net of this night, that if the apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it. Tush, tush, 'twill not appear. Sit down a while and let us once again assail your ears that are so fortified against our story of what we have seen these 2 nights. Well, sit me down and let Bernardo speak of this. Last night of all, when yon same star that westward from the pole had made its course to illume the part of heaven, where now it burns Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one, break thee off, look to where it comes again!
Right, stop that. That's just plain silly.
I don't know about you, but that seemed like an awful lot of work just to see if that ghost shot was going to come out looking any good. What do you think, York?
I think you're pushing it.
I concur. welcome to BSI. On this episode, we will be discussing the age-old question, is poetry just for sissies? In a word, no. Let's take, for example, one of my favorite poets, George Gordon, Lord Byron. Did he write verse? Yes, he wrote verse. Did he have unhealthy feelings for almost everyone he met? Yes, he had unhealthy feelings for almost anyone he met. But if you called him a sissy, he would call you out, run you through, and then drink out of your skull. How's that for being a sissy?
For more information on Lord Byron, please contact the Lord Byron Society. For more information on sissies, please contact the National Office for the Republican Party of the United States.
Interrupt this program to bring you a World Report news bulletin.
Hello and welcome to World Report. We have breaking news for you, and I think it's probably pretty important because we have hooked Bob up with the latest in news gathering technology. It is some instantaneous satellite transmission device. It's basically a pager, but what happens is when he pushes the button, he is instantly connected with us here at World Report. And in the last 30 seconds, he has pushed that button no less than 127 times, so it must be important. Bob, are you there? Bob?
Hey, Baron, what can I do for you?
Bob, your friend wouldn't happen to be sitting on your pager, would she?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Paperback writer.
Hello and welcome to the Book Report. For this episode of the Book Report, it probably comes as no surprise, but I have chosen a work by Shakespeare, one of my favorites, Macbeth. Two reasons why it's my favorite. It's actually the first one I ever read, and it is also the shortest. I'm actually quite a big fan of Shakespeare, long and or short, but this one I quite like. It's the story of Macbeth, who is possibly the most pussy-whipped man in the history of Western literature. You think George had a hard time with Martha and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? George has nothing on this guy. I'm sure if Hillary Clinton was asked to name her favorite Shakespeare play, she'd probably say King Lear or Othello, but she'd be thinking this one. As I said, it's the story of Macbeth. It's got everything: sex, violence, witches, boil, boil, toil and trouble. And also one of my favorite Shakespeare lines, by the pricking in my thumb, something wicked this way comes. It's also got a little lesson about booze in here. And it's the porter at the, Act 2, Scene 3, talking with a couple of the other characters about how booze gets you all horny, but so there's a lot more to Shakespeare than you think. It's kind of like the Bible. Looks boring, but there's lots of sex and violence if you dig deep enough. As I said, it provokes the desire but takes away the performance. Now guys, be honest. Yeah? Don't make me the only one. Anyway, that is Macbeth by just William Shakespeare. There you go. Cheers. Bye. Well, friends, that was the show. I hope you liked it. If you didn't, I'm sure somewhere on YouTube someone's telling a fart joke or taking their clothes off. Go ahead, check. Doesn't bother me none. Well, see you next time. Have a good one. Let's take, for example, one of my favorite poets, George Gordon, Lord Byron. Did he write verse? Yes, he wrote verse. Did he have unhealthy feelings for almost everyone he met? Yes, he had almost never. Damn it.